And 572-0215. Rev-Up Slu, the alpha of radio.
Doctor in the House is next with Dr. Leonard Suraj, brought to you with the compliments of Laplace, Salison, Ultramart, and Tapio Hospital.
At Tapio Hospital, caring and competent obstetric consultants will see you safely from prenatal care through delivery with a team of excellent pediatric and anesthetic support. Tapio Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
Looking for a one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs? Look no further than Ultramart. We stock a variety of options from the world's leading brands, all at affordable prices. Whether you're looking for fresh produce, pantry staples, or household essentials, we've got you covered. And that's not all. Don't miss out on our ultra specials and promotions for a chance to win hundreds of dollars in vouchers, hampers, and special prizes. Visit any one of our 4 convenient locations today or check us out on our Facebook and Instagram page. Ultramart, your one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs. Shop smart. Shop Ultramart.
It's now time for Doctor in the House, hosted by Dr. Leonard Suraj. Dr. Suraj, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Andrew. Good evening, listeners. Good evening, followers of that program. I am here again, and every Tuesday to do Doctor in the House. Today I am alone and have an interesting topic which most people can identify with, and it is about common household accidents. You would have thought that since home is your place of privacy, your place of security, that you would have very few accidents, but studies throughout the globe has shown that the majority of accidents can occur at the home accidents, especially if you have young children. So the topic tonight will be about what are the common accidents that can happen and how best you can prevent it, because really all these are preventable accidents. These are the things that it doesn't happen, you can actually prevent it. So,
would you say the most common fires?
Maybe not. Maybe falls, and especially with children and older adults. That's why they tell you that when you are younger, try and keep fit. Do aerobics. Aerobics give you a sense of balance and how to break falls. So as you age and you get older, your reflexes are sharper.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, most times when you get into old age, usually you respond late, your reflexes are slower, and you tend to hit your head.
So you're saying that the experts are advising that, do you start at a later age, or are you suggesting?
It's
are the experts
sometime
suggesting?
in your life.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That
The general thinking is that exercise is as important to you as eating. But we feel that if I walk half an hour to work and back, that's enough exercise.
Mm.
But really it's not, because when you go to exercise in a formalized way, you exercise all your muscle group, and then you have a percentage of the time you spend doing what we call cardio, which is just fitness exercise, burning calories.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And another section to build the different muscle groups. The muscle groups are important because as you age, to every 10 years, you lose 10% of your body mass if you didn't exercise. And they always tell you, those who are into horse racing, that you have to train your older horses far more than the younger ones. Because for them to maintain that muscle mass and the agility and the speed. So
how does the exercise help, especially in terms of one's balance and so on? How does that help?
How does that help? It's a good question. The exercise help in that it strengthens the muscle, and every muscle is crossing a joint to stabilize that joint. So with a muscle, usually a muscle is tissue, mass of tissue that has the capacity to contract and relax, and is attached to the bone by a tendon. It's not just a muscle sitting on a bone. It's attached to the bone by a tendon, which is a thick, just like your Achilles heel, thick muscle, and thick tissue. And this is attached to the bone. It's attached strongly to the bone. It's hardly likely for it to tear off the bone. It might burst. So that's what a muscle does. So the muscle is to stabilize the joint, and the stronger your muscles, the more it keeps the joints in check.
I see. So I guess that would explain, Dr. Suraj, the issue of older people having falls and so on, especially maybe they taking a shower, because that's where you usually hear people fall. Older people fall while they're taking a shower. So that's what you're saying, that it would help alleviate some of those.
Yeah, what it does, and that is the muscle strength is one. The second one is the agility, your reflexes, because you'll hold a cat facing up, say about 1 foot off the ground, drop it, it'll have enough time to swing back and land on its forelegs. That's a set of reflexes it has. Now, if you do aerobics where the aerobics is repetitive exercise, and on 1 foot, jump on the other one, you twist here, you turn there, all the time you're working on your balance. So your balancing system and your muscle sharpness are all intact and can protect you from falling hard on your head, because most time you're older and fall, you don't have the time to protect your head and you get a head injury. So if the fall didn't kill you, the head injury may or give you a stroke or something.
So exercise is important throughout our lives then?
Very important. And I think most of us don't exercise enough.
That's true.
And so the body can take a lot of exercise strain and still respond. So exercise is important, and exercise have a lot of long-term implication.
So when we talk about exercise, Dr. Suraj, I'll let you, I know you're going to get to your points and so on.
Yeah.
When we talk about exercise, there are people who go, for example, you have bodybuilders, you have people who training to run marathons, right? And those kinds of things. Are those people in a better position, right, than the average person who just goes for a walk?
Better position for what?
In terms of the ability now to cope in older age, as you're saying.
Yeah. I think that for you to enjoy good quality older age life, it has to start from your youth, to begin to get into physical activity, your diet, what you eat, how much you eat, when you eat, and the amount of sleep you get.
So let's talk about, say, for example, what you do. You're a doctor, and most times you're at the office. However, when you either before you get to work or after work, you go for an hour's walk, for example.
Yeah.
You may go to the gym, maybe do some light weights, that sort of thing. I'm asking, is there an advantage to those people who go to the gym and work out really hard, and they're able to build those muscles, and those people who run marathons and they're always training? So how do you get a good balance? How do you know when enough is enough?
Well,
for the average person.
Oh, the average person, the usual recommendation, statistically, the recommendation is about 30 to 40 minutes of brisk walking at the rate of about 3 miles an hour per day. You may decide to skip Sunday 6 days a week, 5 days a week. You can opt for muscle training exercise if you wish, but there are two aspects of exercise. There is the physical aspect where it builds muscle, it trains your muscle, train your reflexes to respond, etc., give you a sense of happiness. And there is the psychological benefit. You can actually get hooked onto exercise.
Yes.
Because it liberates certain endorphins in your brain that give you a feel-good sense. So exercise have this benefit, even if you did not pay much attention to the physical aspect. but it has a well-being element to it that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So that alone justifies
Yes.
why we should do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does.
All
So
right.
I think you're recommending at least 30
that
to
is
40.
that is the thinking, that is the research on it, that at least half an hour, 40 minutes of walking every day.
At least no less than maybe 5 days, maybe
5 days.
if you can, because for some people doing it every day may not be practical.
Yeah, and some people will tell you, well, I'm a farmer, I go in the garden and I work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You may be working hard, but maybe of the, say, 300 muscles you have, I don't know exactly the number of muscles we have, but not all are being used in your laboring work.
Mhm.
It may be just a series of a few muscles. If you are using a shovel and you're shoveling sand, there's only a few muscles you're using,
Right.
and using the same one all the time.
Mhm.
So the other muscles are not getting that exercise. So you're not as balanced as if you're going on a routine exercise and exercise all the muscles.
So would you say that walking gives you that edge, that the body, the entire body moving, is working all the muscles?
No, it doesn't work all.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
work all. But it also works your chest and diaphragm.
Mhm.
Because when you walk a little more brisk, you get short of breath. You begin to breathe deeper. And remember, when you are standing up, your lungs, not all, and you're sitting, as you are sitting there and breathing, you take breathing for granted because you just breathe. However, when you're breathing, only a portion of the lung that is exchanging air. The lower part of the lung is just resting and not much is happening. If you're lying on your side, then the lower side may be squashed and the upper side may be breathing more. And similar on the other side. So what I'm saying there in my first point is that the muscle, the lungs, or not all of it is breathing at rest. However, when you begin to push yourself and to walk briskly, you begin to breathe harder and deeper, then you're opening up the lungs that were just sitting there quietly.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
that's important.
Yeah.
It's important to push yourself at some point to get into a bit of shortness of breath, a bit of gasping and panting,
Mhm.
to open up your lungs.
Yes. So I was talking about you were talking about the muscles as well, various muscles that are not really used, even if you're walking, right?
Right.
So would you suggest now the walking as well as some sort of light weight or something?
Yes. Some muscle training with it. Now you may decide not to do that. You may decide to do Zumba
Mhm.
or anything like aerobics or anything that has with it muscle training. And remember, it's not only muscle strength, it's muscle stretching as well. Because all muscles contract. And when the muscle contract, it brings the joint into action, and the joint actually closes the arm together or whatever. But it brings two surfaces closer. And there's opposing muscle that stretch it out.
Mhm.
So there's contraction and stretching. And sorry. And so that is how you develop your muscle mass, by balancing both the antagonist and the other group of muscles,
Mhm.
so that they are working in tandem.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying the exercise is important,
Yeah.
and the earlier we start the earlier we start, the
Right.
better,
Mhm.
because when we get into our old age, we are able to respond a lot more effectively to, for example, the accidents, as you said,
Yeah, our
that may
protective
happen.
reflexes
Yeah.
to prevent ourselves from getting injured. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. So it takes us back to your earlier point.
Yeah. So back to my earlier point. So it is important to do these exercises and to try and keep fit. Fitness. Now, the fitter you are, and you know from the sports people and the athletes, that the fitter they are, the less likely they are to get injuries. And many a time, some of the injury is because of muscle strength, etc. Yeah, so safety, we were talking about important aspect of safety at home. Why would people have accidents at home? Well, the issue is that there could be especially if you have children, there could be an awareness or lack of awareness of the hazards that may be there. So there may be areas where you didn't think that there was a potential to cause an accident, but things were there. It could also be that some people multitask. And if you're multitasking, you may put your eyes off something, especially if you're using power tools and power equipment. Say you are grinding something and then you didn't cover the top and your hand happened to get close to it, you know what's going to happen. So whenever you're using power tools, make sure you're concentrating on what you're doing and don't multitask. Also, and you'd have heard many accidents where storage of caustic and poisons. And in the agricultural sector, I think over the years the standards have been very high, whereby as an agriculturist you're supposed to have a special little house where you take care of where you store all your chemicals, not in the household. Because many accidents have happened where a child looking at, say, a pesticide or some sort and didn't know what it was. And more importantly, sometimes if you put it in a different bottle. So the story here is that when in terms of the storage of caustic and poisonous material in the house, alkalis and acids and things you use to clean, don't leave it at the reach of children. And make sure that if you never transfer it to a bottle that is used for drinking, like Coke bottle, Pepsi bottle, because the child may not know and drink it.
Yes.
More important, don't put it in the fridge or anywhere, anything that is caustic. I believe that anytime you pour something, store it into something else, put a label on it. It's important to label it, otherwise you yourself may not even know what you had put in there. So these are very important tips. And sometimes, say like if you have a power saw, that you must have some training how to use it, because these power tools have a kickback. And so when you are using the power tool, if it's not very sharp or it hits, say, a nail or something, it kicks back. And if you're not holding it strong, you can get injured from it. And one of those I've seen happen, and it really is a problem, and that is the use of a grinder. And I've said in other programs that I believe that for power tools, you must have some kind of training to use, especially the safety aspect of power tools. The grinder, you have to hold it strong, and then you have to make sure that you don't put too much pressure on the discs. The disc is the blade, and that disc can easily crack. And these grinders spin at thousands of revs per second, and so they move fast. And I've had occasion to treat patients who have had the grinder breaking into pieces. I got 11 pieces of the grinder in the neck.
Wow.
And it broke the mandible.
Wow.
Shattered the mandible. So I had to go back and put wires in the mandible to secure it in place, and pull up piece of, and you know it is petrifying to be in the neck. You do not know if when you pull out a piece of the material they use for the grinder, usually when you pull it out, whether it is stopping a vessel from bleeding and the vessel start bleeding. In the neck has a lot of big veins and arteries and serious stuff. And so all these things can be averted. For these things you have to have eye protection, and you have to have protection like a shield for your face. Otherwise, you can easily. There's one particular person that got killed because the thing cut the carotid artery. Not in St. Lucia, overseas. So these are happen. All these are accidents that can happen and should be prevented. I think I have seen accident in emergency department, and clearly somebody was not being careful enough. And so for home thing, these are the things that can happen. I would say a special thing about the other things that can cause accident, lighting, even the rug. You have a rug in your house. Sometimes the edge of the rug tend to curl up, etc.
Yes,
your
that's
foot
true.
can easily stick in that. So the idea there is that get some double-sided tip and tip that thing in place. And it is also said that if you have a little child holding, never use the other hand and hold a cup with hot water or anything, because the child is very erratic and easily turn the water hit them. And so you can easily get burns from that.
And as we spoke about the rug, the rug issue, that is a hazard for children especially, because they're always running about the place, especially like babies, maybe 2-year-old, 3-year-old running around the place, and they trip. I've seen that already.
Okay.
Yeah, they trip, and maybe when they fall, they could hit a center table, right? Their head could hit a center table, all kinds of possible negative consequences to that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have, say, you take it for granted, you take your TV and just sit it on top of a table. Make sure it is secure, because a child may just hold the TV and it falls. And similarly for your bookcases, those people who have large bookcases, etc., it is just sitting there holding on to nothing. The idea is to always put a bracket on it to ensure that it is stable. In terms of lighting, make sure that if you have that your house is adequately lighted so that you don't miss a step. Of course, you know your house and you know where all the steps are, but sometimes other people may not. If you have a stranger or a friend who comes by, they may not know. So it's good to have it properly lighted.
I want to ask you something, which I think is a very important question. And I've seen this, and I believe maybe it's still being practiced across St. Lucia, right? I'm not sure about what's happening outside. But there's some parents who have their work to do. Okay? So maybe you have a mom who's home, and she has the house chores taken care of. And she also has a child who is there. And left to himself or herself, they will do naughty things. Just as you said a while ago, they may go see a bottle. It looks like it's water and probably kerosene or something inside it. Right? So
That's right.
some parents now will take this child and put this child in an area where they can't move. So they are like in a blockade kind of thing, okay, with limited
Cage them.
space. Kids,
Put in a cage.
exactly. And the kids now are just there. Sometimes they cry, and the parent is saying, hey, I have my work to do, kind of thing. How do you get your take on that? How does that really help the situation? Does that put more stress on the child? Does that make it worse? Or that's a cool thing, just leave them there, even if they cry themselves to sleep. That's what some parents do.
No, but this has a psychological problem. And I think children, so when you see an adult who is claustrophobic and who has fears of this and fears of that, fears of doors closing behind him, they could have had that kind of experience. So, and as we were saying in previous programs, that the personality that develops as an adult is a function of the kind of exposures you had when you were younger. Because to be incarcerated like that, all closed up, and you can't find ways of moving, psychologically it has an effect on the child. And the child may develop a fear of enclosures and subsequently behave that way, and can be quite annoying. We're going up 3 stories on an elevator, and you say you'll take the stairs. So it causes issues. But yes, it has its psychological thing. But technically speaking, what other courses you have? You want to keep the child protected, leave the child on their own, they might get into other issues. So you have to find a balance between the two, but it can affect the child.
Well, let's talk about the first cousin of that sort of action, and that is you have a child. Again, it's maybe a baby, and you have your work to do. And this child wants you to hold them. And some parents say, you could cry all you want. I have my work to do. And they just leave the children there crying, upset, screaming, bawling because they want you to pick them up. Some people say if you pick them up, you're spoiling the child, and you hear those things. So what about that now?
Well, that the child needs comfort, and the child feels the need for reassurance. And the strength of that child, their will, their strength, their personality will be derived from these things. Because the child sees it as rejection, and the child will feel rejected, feel neglected, feel alone, feel lonely, etc.
Wow.
But of course, when the child gets bigger and becomes defiant, then you deal with that differently. And willingly say, no, I'm not doing that, or I am being wicked, and begin to injure little animals or birds or whatever, or fowls in the yard or whatever. They begin to show aggression towards things that are weaker than them. You begin to see that they have an issue. But when they need love, attention, and affection, they should get it.
Dr. Suraj, I'm sure you're aware of the number of parents who do that. They leave the child there to cry and bawl until they probably fall asleep.
Yeah.
But you're saying that there's harm being done there.
Yeah,
that,
there is. It has psychological effects on the child as they grow.
But Dr. Suraj, can you imagine the amount of us, right, who go around, who have had that kind of experience, and today...
And can you imagine the number of us who cannot form proper relationship?
Yes.
And who have a lot of idiosyncrasies? They don't like this, they don't like that. This is too small, this is too big. The intolerance, the inflexibility. So I always believe we need more psychologists in St. Lucia than doctors. Because many people have issues, psychological issues. Because why should it be that a population of 180,000, we have so many altercations and crime and disloyalty or even disagreement among people? The courts are always filled. A case has to take years for you to hear it, because all the law-abiding issues are because we are not at peace with ourselves. And so for a small nation, there's a lot of issues that because of upbringing, because of parenting, that could have been different.
Wow. Okay, Dr. Suraj, we'll take a break and get back in just a moment. This is Doctor in the House live on Rev-Up St. Lucia with Dr. Leonard Suraj. Our program brought to you the compliments of Laplace, Salazar, Ultramart, and Tapia Hospital.
Tapia Hospital Radiology Department offers 24-hour service. We provide you with X-ray, CT scans, and ultrasound imaging using the most modern equipment that produces the best images for your medical attention. Call the Radiology Unit at 459-2201. Tapia Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
Looking for a one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs? Look no further than Ultramart. We stock a variety of options from the world's leading brands, all at affordable prices. Whether you're looking for fresh produce, pantry staples, or household essentials, we've got you covered. And that's not all. Don't miss out on our ultra specials and promotions for a chance to win hundreds of dollars in vouchers, hampers, and special prizes. Visit any one of our 4 convenient locations today or check us out on our Facebook and Instagram page. Ultramart, your one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs. Shop smart. Shop Ultramart.
La Place Salazar is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork, sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salazar, of course. La Place Salazar, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
Welcome back to Doctor in the House with Dr. Leonard Suraj. We're live on Rev-Up Slu. Dr. Suraj, welcome back.
Thank you, Andre, and listeners, thank you for staying on. And I would like to invite you that if you have any question you want to ask, or if you want to contribute to this very open type forum discussion, you can call our number, the fixed line, at 572-9710, or the WhatsApp line at 285-0971. We would entertain your call if you do call.
Just a little slight correction. It's 287-0971.
287.
Yes, 0971. So that's the WhatsApp
right.
number. The fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or WhatsApp 287-0971. We'd love to hear from you. We spoke about some very important issues there. Oh, I think we have a call, Dr. Suraj. So maybe you can just get your headphone and let's get cracking. This is Doctor in the House, live with Dr. Leonard Suraj.
Hello. Hello, good evening.
Andre. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for accepting my call.
Good.
You're welcome.
Yes, so tell me, what would you like to contribute to our discussion today?
Doc,
Yep.
I mean, what about household? Yeah, let me put it so. Why, when most people, let's say in the old age, 70, 80 or so, why when they have a fall is mostly the hip you head that is fractured? Why?
You can get hip fracture because as you age, women even more than men, the bone mass, the bone density begin to get eroded.
Is that because of the lack of exercise you're talking about earlier, or the other issues?
There are other issues, but exercise help with the bone, strengthening the bone. But the big bones tend to, the calcium mineral tend to get less and less as they age, and so they can get fractures, or the slight fall, they get a hip fracture.
So this lack of calcium, is that as a result of maybe what? Just a normal process of aging?
A normal process of aging, which you have to watch and begin to take supplements. You wouldn't want to tell anybody take supplements willy-nilly, because a higher calcium can cause other things like stones and everything.
Right.
But if...
And any,
hello?
and any misfall or whatever, the hip that get, I mean, the majority of the...
Usually,
usually
it is the hip or the femur, the leg, the upper leg. The head of the femur is the hip, so that's what breaks most time, and they have to put the rod in there. Yeah. So
and yet,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So sorry, caller. Sorry, caller.
Okay.
So you're saying what? These are what bone issues? You're saying
The bone is thinned and therefore easier to fracture. It's not anything more than, it's not a pathological thing in terms of a disease. It is just that gradually as you age, there is demineralization or removal of the calcium. The body does that, but you have to watch it and replace it. Otherwise, there are even tests you can do for bone density, how dense the bone is, and whether it can withstand the rigors. So yes, and it doesn't have to be big, fat people. Sometimes very thin people, a little fall. You'd have thought that they don't have that much weight, but they still fracture the hip.
Wow. Continue, caller.
and
Yeah.
and the other one, Doc. My mother is 77 years. My father is 81. And my father, keep on walking. Sometimes he walk long distance, like he taking his exercise at this age 81. You believe that's a good thing?
Yeah, that's a good thing. Once the car doesn't, once he go and walk in areas where there's not heavy traffic, because your balance
Yeah, in
may
the tunnel,
sway
he
a
walk
little bit.
from one end to the other.
What's that?
In the flat, in the tunnel, cul-de-sac, the tunnel, yeah, he walk from one end on the cul-de-sac junction to the Latok junction. You think
Wow.
at 81 years he should still be doing that, Doc?
But if he's able to do it, let him do it. But is he suffering? Is he in pain? Is he shortness of breath?
No, but I think-
that is normal for him.
But at this age, he should not do any push-ups, any weightlifting, just walking.
Whatever he is able to do, he can do. If he cannot do push-up and he wants to do some muscle exercise, he can use dumbbells, 5 pounds, 2 pounds, whatever.
At this age,
Yeah, the muscle have to be, as long as you're alive, your muscle is supposed to be, you can practice, yeah.
So there's no age to stop
No, there's no
doing
age to
exercise?
stop. No.
Doing exercise, taking exercise.
There's no age to say, well, I'm old enough. Let me just pack myself and finish. No, you go until.
So once you can do it and you feel like doing it, you can do it.
Once you're not harming yourself and once you're not in pain when you're doing it, okay, you're not doing it for competition. You're doing it because you're in the habit of exercising. If you continue.
So the heart, Doc, that wouldn't have any effect on the heart, like pumping too hard or pumping too fast.
No, if the heart has no problem, it shouldn't cause any issue. Because, but however, if you have cardiac problem, then you'll be guided by your cardiologist as to what exercise
Because
you do.
I thought as you get older, the heart would get a little weaker. You don't have to do that.
Well, actually, if you stop doing things, then you put yourself in the position to get more problem. So the exercise, the thing is that do not force yourself to do it, and just do what you feel comfortable doing. And you should be okay.
Well, okay, Doc.
Yep. Yeah. So
thank you. Let me just add to what he's saying there. There's an Indian guy who took up walking, I think in his 80s. He had some issues at home and so on, and I think maybe his wife had died or something. And just to keep himself busy, he started walking, and he died in a hit and run accident that happened about 4 weeks ago at age 114. And he was doing marathons at that age.
What?
Yes. And that's a true story.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping the listener is listening.
It just reinforces the point that you're making.
Yeah, that, you keep on going as long as you're comfortable doing it. And some people who have had a long tradition of long walking, it's nothing for them.
And he took up the walking in his 80s.
He started in the 80s?
In his 80s.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's what the other thing I was telling him is that make sure, because when you are getting older, you tend to have a little more imbalance, a little more unsteady. You might sway a little more. So if you are in heavy traffic area, make sure you don't walk close to the edge. And so these are the things I worry about, that being out, because if you miss a step and the vehicle is passing, then you're likely to get damaged. So, but I think apart from that, I think you exercise based on how your body can take it.
So again, this issue with balance and so on, you're saying this is a natural occurrence due to one's age, but you say it can be ameliorated if you doing some sort of exercise.
Yeah. And I'm also saying that if you are going to, in the older age, if you're going to be going on long walks, make sure you do it safely by trying to avoid heavy traffic exercise, and because you may miss a step, you may stumble, and make sure that you have enough space to safely do these things.
Yes.
And that's basically what I'm saying.
Let me just give the numbers again. The fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or you can choose the WhatsApp platform 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. This is Doctor in the House, live with Dr. Leonard Suraj.
Okay, thank you. And let's continue. So, I was talking about what you can do in the house to avoid that. Let me talk a little bit about the bathroom. Sometimes, if you're not careful, when you are doing your bathroom floor, the tiles, make sure it is non-skid tiles. If you use the same shiny porcelain tiles, when the soap hits it, you can easily fall. And if you have older people in the house, make sure you have the grab bars, the little rail that you hold on either side so that you don't fall. Because sometimes if you're washing 1 foot, you're on 1 foot, and so you can easily lose your balance, etc. There are other things. If you say you had not used the non-skid tiles, you can, they're commercial thing, little strips you can buy and stick it on the bathroom floor that will protect it from skidding. So it's almost like a little sandpaper kind of thing. So these are the things you should look at adjusting, because if you fall in a bathroom, there's very little space for you to recover and break the fall. You'll hit your head, and it can be quite slippery, especially with soap and sod on the bathroom floor. And this floor must be cleaned often enough so grit and grime does not actually accumulate and cause it to slide. So so that's for bathroom. And the staircase, for those people who have upper and lower stairs and they have to move up, make sure that your rail is secure and goes all the length of the staircase, because you don't want to fall or fall short of it. So
and you know, it's so important, Dr. Suraj, because even younger people fall in the bathroom as well.
Anybody can
as you
fall.
said, there's just a simple thing, the tiles especially, if there's no grip on the tile, it's just a smooth tile, the odds of you falling are great. I've seen it happen. My little girl, she was, I think, about 2 when she was playing it. I was right there, and she just slipped
and fell,
and she fell, and she hit the front teeth, and one of them was affected up until she lost her first set of teeth. It actually turned gray. And the gray is because it has lost its blood supply, so it's dead too. Yes. So it happens to children, happens to young people, and most of all, older folks. So I think you're suggesting having some sort of something in there that they can hold on to that.
A grab bar, and you put it on the side, just 2 sides of the bathroom, the 2 walls, and even if when you are showering with one hand, one can hold it, and if you are about to fall, you can hold it. Especially sometimes you want to lift up 1 foot to wash your feet, etc. Then you're only on 1 foot.
Yes.
And so therefore there's something you can hold. Some people have a little stool inside the bathroom just to sit the shower. So it varies, but I think we have to be in construction and we have to be mindful of these things, because a lot of accidents can happen in these small areas.
And Dr. Suraj, can you imagine a situation where you have an older person, they slipped in the bathroom, there's nothing to hold on to, and they hit their head on the faucet or something like that?
Right, and there's nobody to say anything to, and then the shower is running, and heaven knows what happened.
Very person unconscious.
And you see, so these are the things I'm trying to prevent or reduce by raising these issues.
You have another call.
Hello, good evening.
I'm there again.
No problem, caller. No problem. You're welcome.
Thanks for accepting my call, because like I told you, my mother's 77, and my father is 81.
So you have good genes, man.
Exactly.
You have
I'm
good
61,
genes.
Doc.
Okay.
I'm 61, and I expect to live another 61.
Good for you.
That's positive.
Doc, let me tell you, my mother, she, especially Mother's Day, or when she go into a party or dance or whatever, she likes to dance, and she wears these high-heeled shoes, Doc, at 77 years. Like we were talking about the hip. Do you believe that's a good? Do you believe that is okay? Even if she feel comfortable in it.
You trying to put me in trouble?
Wow. Wow.
I
Heels
think-
at 80 something?
Yeah.
You know the number of
77, my mother is 77.
oh 70 something. Yeah. You know the number of young
And she
people who
wear-
don't wear
and
heels.
She keeps on putting those high heel shoes, especially for Mother's Day. I saw my mother in a high heel, going to dance, and because she feels comfortable with those high heels, should she continue wearing that?
But isn't she?
No.
She has been wearing it all the time.
Yes, she
So
has
you
been
think that
wearing
there
it.
is a? But you have a good point there, because the chance of you slipping and falling and losing your balance is higher. And as you said,
Yeah.
you don't want her to break her hip and have problems afterwards.
Yeah, because
So I cannot pontificate on that one. The most I can say is that if she has not fallen and she looks stable, then you cannot tell the lady what not to do it. But I don't know. I would have been telling her, be a little more cautious, because you're not as stable and nimble as you used to be.
right. Yeah, excuse me.
You'll tell a lady that?
Because I told her that Mother's Day. I told her that I said, Mom, you are 77 years, and it's time you can. I'm in a little lower heel, but you keep on putting those high heels. I don't know if that have any strain on a hip, like we were talking about the hip bone, because anything that happens, you hear is the hip.
I tell
That
you,
gets
this man want
fractured
to
or
put me in
whatever.
trouble.
So, okay, Doc.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Suraj, I think you're already in trouble. You say you tell a lady you're not as nimble as you used to be.
Well, of course, there are some things that naturally will happen. Your reflexes will be slower. You cannot break a fall as easy as early, as fast as before. So this thing can happen.
Don't laugh at that.
But
you tell a lady she's not as nimble as
well,
she used to be. But you know, Dr. Suraj, on a serious note, you know the number of young ladies who do not wear heels, huh? They wear flat shoes.
They just cannot
Yeah,
balance themselves.
for whatever reason.
But it must be a skill to balance yourself.
I imagine. I imagine.
Yeah.
And you know, you could tell a lady who's wearing heels from a mile away. The walk, the gait is different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, there's a way that they walk. You could say
There's
she
a
has heels.
sophistication.
Right.
About the way they walk. They almost glide. And so it's a skill, and it could very well be that the lady has mastered the skill and feel very comfortable doing it, and let her do what she's comfortable doing. But at the same time,
it's maybe a little risky.
You don't want it to be said that, Doc, you told me on the air that I can wear my heels, and look, I fell down. So it's a judgment call. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about one more thing, especially for children. In the kitchen now, we'll have left the bathroom, we're in the kitchen. Do not leave any knives or anything sharp on the table pointing out, because the child is small and shorter. They are seeing things from a different perspective than you are seeing. And you are seeing the knife down and they are seeing it up, and they might grab it and pull it down. More important, your stove, try to use the back burners more. And if you have anything that is hot, do not, like a pan, do not put the pan handle facing out. Let it face in, because the child will grab the pan. If you are frying something and there is hot oil is hotter than hot water because of the temperature at which it boils. And so it can burn much harder. Children's skin are much more delicate and can easily burn. And a burn, full thickness burn in a child can deform them. And so you not want to see your child through that. So if at all possible, use the back burners first and store everything that is on the like pan handle, turn them around so the child do not touch them or so feel them.
Or put them in the mouth, because there's a certain point in the growing stage. They say like they think with their mouth. Everything they take is
put in the mouth. Yeah.
So as you said, imagine you have a knife or something.
Yeah.
That's easily accessible.
So that's right. And bottles and things that have anything that is caustic, do not keep it at the reach of the children, because I have seen a lot of accidents. I have seen where the child, now there are some alkalis that are not, they're not so impalatable, meaning that they don't taste bad, so they can drink this thing and don't know, and it can corrode the entire lining of the esophagus. And problem.
And now that you mentioned that, Dr. Suraj, I think you've sort of glossed over that on a few of your other programs, your previous programs, where children swallow stuff, like maybe a plum seed.
Well, what we call them, these are foreign
Aki.
bodies. Yeah. Aki is a dangerous one because it is so slippery.
Yes.
Even you as an adult, it slides inside your mouth.
Yes.
And so the child can easily, and the size of the Aki seed, that when it lodges there, is going to block the entire throat. And that is so dangerous. I would, Aki and even peanuts, I've seen quite a few peanuts ingestion and inhaling. I've had to remove pins. I've had to remove little bolts. I've had to remove flat batteries in lungs and in the nose. There are some children that you do not know that they have something in the nose until several weeks afterwards. You see one nostril is running, the other one isn't. And then anytime you see it's only one nostril that is actually weeping, most likely there's something in there. Either a piece of rubber, either a piece of the cigarette foil paper, either it is a battery. I have seen batteries, I have seen matchstick, I have seen then the battery corrode and give a different color, black color thing coming out. And actually there's one person, he had it for so long, but he was not mentally okay. That's why he had it. So he pushed several matches, about 30 matchsticks in there. And it stayed there, and the body reacted to it, the skin reacted and formed a polyp, a growth. So the growth was coming out of his nose and bleeding. And when you think that you're going to remove a growth, but when you put him to sleep and get in there, you realize that matchstick upon matchstick coming out.
Wow.
So
just goes back to what we said earlier about the children think at that stage with their mouths. Everything is in the mouth.
Because it is just like, because that's the first set of reflex they know. And you'll put your finger on the edge of their mouth and they turn around and put the finger in their mouth. Anything is mouth.
Yes.
As they grow older, they get a little more sensible about that. But but when they begin to walk and they begin to move from one location to the next, then they are more trouble because they start grabbing at things, they start holding on things. And the other one I don't want to forget, the ironing board and the iron.
Oh yeah.
The iron is hot, very hot. It doesn't show the heat. But if you have an old habit of putting the iron on its bottom on the ironing board, it's very unstable. The child will come in, crawling in, hold the iron, hold the board, iron fall, burn the child. So these little things, we have to be very mindful of it rather than being sorry, because some of these burns are irreversible. It will cause scars. You have to do plastic surgery. It never is the same, and so forth. So I hope that in the course of that program that we were able to reach some people so that they can be a little more cautious.
So just, okay, we have a call.
But the way you look at me, I thought I was getting to the end.
we're almost there, but you have another call.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi. Good evening, doctor. Good evening. And
Good evening.
Good evening.
Teacher Jean. Thanks for calling.
I was there listening, and I realized that you're talking about how children take things and put in their ears, in their nose, and in the things. I remember there's a little where my son scared me so much. One day we were preparing to go to a wedding and dressed up and everything, and then I looking in the child's nose. I'm seeing as if there is something red. So I try to touch it, but it's hard. And there I became so scared. I'm saying, what is it that's red inside us? Is it blood, that's clot or something? Where that come from? and I'm so scared. And just as I was about to take him to the hospital, I said, let me touch the thing. I squeezed the nose, and what do you think came out? A red bean.
Red.
Oh my.
Yes, I said, look at this. Just a red bean in the child's nose. How he put it, I don't know. You know, so
Yeah.
there are things that children do, a lot of things, and you have to be very careful when you have children.
And you have to be very observant, eh?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
man, you have to be like a detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man just said me squeeze the nose. To
Yeah,
see what
squeeze it
happens.
from behind and let it flip out.
Yes, uh-huh.
Now, strange enough, now that you mentioned that, if you were to leave that dry red bean, it would accumulate water, it would swell.
Oh, yes.
Swell very big and block the nose, and the nose will get infected.
Yeah,
And you have to
yeah.
and you have to put him to sleep now to remove
To
it.
remove it,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you sound like a lady with experience.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I thought I have children, and I taught children.
All right, okay.
Former
Taught
teacher.
children.
Okay, that's
Yes.
good.
Thank you for calling, Teacher Jean.
for
Yes,
calling.
very nice subject. I always listen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
you.
all right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Dr. Suraj, how can, I mean, any advice to we the parents? How are we supposed to be so conscious of ourselves, our problems, our issues, the things that that we confront on a daily basis, and we have a child to remember? How do we balance the
Well,
two?
A child doesn't come from the sky and just land there. A child has to be planned. And you find many of these issues, and we were saying that earlier on, that many of the issues are because the child was not catered for. And just happened, and therefore you have to reshuffle your itinerary around that to raise that child. Now, if it was some situation was different, and you had made adequate preparation in terms of your own mental adjustment and how you would deal with the challenges, it may not be so daunting. Of course, and I'm not talking about the cost or anything like that. I'm talking purely about the mental preparation. And nothing is as lovely as raising a child. Every day you see something new about them. And from the time they begin to open their eyes, you come from work and see if anything new has happened. And every day as they grow, they say something that's amazing, or they react somehow. So the child gives you a tremendous opportunity to actually raise them. It is putting the effort. It's not about money and about expensive toys. It is just being with them. So when you see they're like 4 years or 3 years and they have sports in the school and they think that they're the star, all the time they're running for sports, they're looking at to see if you are there, if you are cheering.
That's true.
Mhm.
And the other thing too, the issue of our personal happiness, right? Sometimes we go through a rough time. Maybe, as you said, that the child was unplanned, sort of thing. I'm not criticizing that at all, because these things happen all the time.
That's what happens.
It happens. But when the child is there, our personal life now, in a sense, as a sort of backseat. I'll tell you why I say that. I read a story many years ago in Jamaica, where a mother was so intent on going out to a party. She left one, town, and went how many miles to another one to attend a party. And she left her 2 children in the house sleeping. Okay? And she left them there sleeping. By the time she got to where she was going, she got a call that the house was on fire and the children perished.
What?
Yes. And she was almost like saying, she lived in the city and she went to Vieux Fort to a party.
Yeah.
And you live with 2 children. So I was just making the point that when we have those children, even our personal
your personal
desires and wants
is
and
sacrificed.
needs, yes.
You sacrifice that. All your own personal ambition take a back seat, and you begin to look at the child. And the child, no matter how, under what circumstances you have a child, you love your child. You passionately you love your child, and therefore you try to do whatever you can, even though at your own sacrificing your own career and your own job aspiration and your career aspiration, that take a backseat. And that's why it is so important to plan when this is going to happen, to allow yourself the mental preparation for it. Yeah, so I think that we have come to the end of this program.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Yeah, the way you look at me, I can always know.
I was looking at the clock.
Yeah. So I hope that today's program that we touch on a few issues that to at least bring into the consciousness of what to look for. Even though when you're planning to build your house, make sure that there are certain things that are in place. That the bathroom tiles are non-skid, and whatever else you can do. Make sure the railing is proper, etc. And especially if you have children, the children is always on a course of self-destruction. So you have to keep them safe. And so that's it. Until next week, next Tuesday.
Yes.
I'll be here again. So thank you very much for listeners, those who called and those who wanted to make a contribution. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr. Suraj, for your service. We really do appreciate the fact that you can be here on a weekly basis. We know you're a very, very busy man. You have a lot of responsibilities, especially for your patients and so on, and your family. But nonetheless, you still make the time to be here with us. And we just want to say thank you very much for doing that. Yeah?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so you've been listening to and viewing Doctor in the House live on Rev-Up St. Lucia with Dr. Leonard Suraj every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Doctor in the House is brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salazar, Ultramart, and Tapio Hospital.
At Tapio Hospital, we operate a 24-hour emergency service for all your urgent healthcare needs. Our qualified medical specialist will be on hand to ensure that you receive the best of care. Call us at 459-2617. Tapio Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
Looking for a one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs? Look no further than Ultramart. We stock a variety of options from the world's leading brands, all at affordable prices. Whether you're looking for fresh produce, pantry staples, or household essentials, we've got you covered. And that's not all. Don't miss out on our ultra specials and promotions for a chance to win hundreds of dollars in vouchers, hampers, and special prizes. Visit any one of our 4 convenient locations today, or check us out on our Facebook and Instagram page. Ultramart, your one-stop shop for all your grocery and household needs. Shop smart. Shop Ultramart.
It's delicious.
La Place Salazar is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salazar, of course. La Place Salazar, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Castries, St. Lucia. Tune in to us and online at revupslu.com.